Many people over the age of 50 live with a constant worry, the fear of falling and that a simple slip could end in a fracture that changes their life. Bone fragility does not appear overnight. It develops quietly over many years. The good news is that today there are simple, natural ways to start caring for your bones through nutrition. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about today. A small, often overlooked seed that provides more calcium than milk and can become a powerful ally for your bone health. I'm Dr. Gabriel Mina, and I welcome you to my channel. Here we talk about holistic health, longevity, and natural, easy habits that help you maintain physical, mental, and emotional balance. So pay close attention and share this information with your family and friends to help them improve their health. We upload new videos every day, so subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Before we continue, if you find this content valuable, a simple gesture like liking the video or sharing it helps this message reach more people who truly need it. Thank you from the heart for being here and for taking care of your health. Now, let's get into today's topic. For decades, we were led to believe that having strong bones required drinking large amounts of milk. Many of us grew up with that idea firmly planted in our minds. However, current science shows us that this story is incomplete. There are natural foods, especially certain seeds, that gram for gram contain much more calcium than milk. Even more importantly, they come with other key nutrients that help that calcium actually reach and strengthen the bones. In this video, I want to show you which seed this is and how you can start incorporating it into your daily routine in a practical way. When I speak with my patients, one of the most common phrases I hear is, "Doctor, I'm afraid of falling and breaking a bone." I clearly remember a patient just over 50 who came to my office after a minor fall at home. What frightened her most was not the fall itself, but the diagnosis that followed, early-stage osteoporosis. She believed that drinking milk was enough, but her body was no longer absorbing that calcium the way it used to. That fear has a name, osteoporosis. And it is not an exaggerated fear. Worldwide, millions of people over 50 suffer fractures related to bone fragility. In women, especially after menopause, the risk increases significantly, but men are not exempt either. A fracture of the hip, wrist, or spine can mark a turning point, affecting mobility, independence, and overall quality of life. Osteoporosis is a silent disease. It does not hurt, it does not warn you, and it does not give clear signs. Imagine your bones as a building under constant renovation. On one side, there are cells that build new, strong bone. On the other, cells that remove old bone. When we are young, this balance is maintained. As the years go by, that balance is disrupted, and bone loss advances faster than the body can replace it. The result is bones that become more porous, fragile, and vulnerable. What makes this especially dangerous is that many people discover the problem only after their first fracture. That is why I emphasize prevention so strongly. And prevention does not begin in the hospital. It starts much earlier, at home, in the way you eat and care for your body every single day. This is where the great myth of milk and calcium comes into play. Yes, milk contains calcium, but the key question is not only how much calcium a food has, but how much of that calcium your body can actually absorb and use. As we age, digestion changes, and many people develop lactose intolerance or simply lose efficiency in absorbing calcium from dairy products. There is another striking fact. In countries where dairy consumption is very high, osteoporosis rates are still elevated. This does not mean that milk is bad, but it does show that bone health depends on many more factors. Calcium needs partners. Magnesium, vitamin D, vitamin K2, and other nutrients that work together to strengthen bones. Providing calcium without these allies is like trying to build a house with bricks alone, without cement or proper tools. That is why today I want to invite you to look beyond what you were always told. Nature offers us concentrated, complete, and easy-to-use options, such as certain seeds, that not only provide calcium but also help that calcium do its job effectively. If this topic feels important to you, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone you care about who is also focused on protecting their bone health. Many times, we are not only thinking about ourselves, but about a parent, a loved one, or a friend who could truly benefit from this information. In the next segment, we will continue to go deeper and calmly break down some deeply rooted beliefs, so you can gain clarity and practical tools that truly help you protect your bones starting today. If after 50 you feel that, despite consuming calcium, your bones continue to weaken, here is where a major doubt begins to clear up. The problem is usually not just how much calcium you consume, but whether your body is actually using it. And the solution lies in understanding that bone health does not depend on a single food or a single nutrient, but on teamwork. I want to make something very clear. This is not about attacking or demonizing milk. For many people, it remains a valid source of nutrients. The problem is believing it is the only answer or a universal solution. At this stage of life, the body changes, and what once worked effortlessly may no longer work the same way. That is why it is so important to open your mind to plant-based sources that not only match milk, but in some aspects clearly surpass it. Believing that calcium alone builds strong bones is a very common mistake. I often explain to my patients that bone health is like an orchestra. Calcium is the main instrument, yes, but if it plays alone, there is no music. It needs other nutrients working alongside it for the result to be strong and long-lasting. The first of these allies is vitamin D. This vitamin is essential because it allows the calcium you eat to be absorbed in the intestines. Without enough vitamin D, it is as if that calcium never entered your body. The main source is still sunlight, but today we spend many hours indoors, use sunscreen, and as a result, vitamin D deficiency is very common, especially among older adults. Then comes vitamin K2, a nutrient that very few people talk about, yet it is crucial. If vitamin D helps calcium get into the bloodstream, vitamin K2 tells it where to go. Thanks to K2, calcium is directed toward the bones and teeth, not toward the arteries or kidneys. When K2 is lacking, calcium can end up where it does not belong, hardening the arteries instead of strengthening the skeleton. Another indispensable partner is magnesium. Magnesium allows vitamin D to become active and also forms part of the bone structure itself. Many modern diets are low in magnesium, creating an imbalance that can negatively affect bone health, even when calcium intake appears to be sufficient. To this team we add other essential minerals such as phosphorus, which works together with calcium to give bones strength and rigidity, and minerals like zinc and copper, which are necessary for collagen formation. Collagen is the flexible framework on which minerals are deposited. Without a solid collagen base, bones become fragile and brittle. There is also a lesser-known mineral, boron, which helps reduce the loss of calcium and magnesium through urine and enhances the effect of vitamin D. When you understand this whole picture, it becomes clear why simple, one-dimensional solutions do not work. This is where certain natural seeds truly stand out. They not only provide high amounts of calcium, but also come with magnesium, phosphorus, and other key minerals, offering much more complete support for your bones. Now let's talk about some of these seeds, saving the main star for later. We'll start with chia seeds, a true nutrient powerhouse. Chia was a staple food for ancient civilizations, and that is no coincidence. Proportionally, it provides several times more calcium than milk. With just a couple of tablespoons, you are already adding a meaningful amount of calcium to your day. But chia does not stop there. It is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation, a process that accelerates bone deterioration. It also provides phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, and boron, making it a very complete option. It is true that chia contains compounds that can slightly interfere with mineral absorption, but this is easily solved by soaking it. When soaked, it forms that characteristic gel that improves digestion and helps your body make better use of its nutrients. Using chia is very simple. You can prepare a pudding for breakfast, add it to smoothies, mix it with yogurt, or sprinkle it over salads. These are small daily habits that, over time, make a big difference. Another seed that surprises almost everyone is poppy seeds. Although they often go unnoticed, they are one of the most concentrated plant sources of calcium available. You don't need large amounts. Just 1 or 2 tablespoons already provide a significant calcium boost, along with phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, and copper, all of them essential for bone structure. To get the most out of them, I recommend grinding them just before consumption. Their mild flavor pairs very well with yogurt, smoothies, salads, or homemade preparations. I remember a patient who, after a bone density test with concerning results, began incorporating these seeds regularly and consciously. Months later, not only had her diet improved, but so had her confidence when moving, which is often just as important as the clinical data. In the next segment, we will finish revealing which seed has the highest calcium content, how to use it in a practical way, and how to integrate all of this into a simple, realistic plan to care for your bones starting today. You may be worried that your bones no longer feel as strong as they once did, that any fall could bring serious consequences, or that osteoporosis may be progressing silently. Today I want to help you change that story by showing you how one simple seed, used correctly, along with a few daily habits, can make a meaningful difference in bone strength after 50. As a physician, I have seen many times that it is not about consuming large amounts of a single food, but about using the right things in balance. The same applies to seeds. Small amounts, used consistently, can provide great benefits. And now we arrive at the star of this video, the seed that stands out above many others when it comes to calcium and bone health: sesame, also known as tahini or sesame seed. Sesame is truly special. In its natural, unhulled form, it contains a much higher amount of calcium than milk. But its greatest value is not just the calcium itself, but the group of minerals that come with it. It provides magnesium, phosphorus, and zinc, all essential for the cells responsible for building bone to function properly. It is also rich in copper, a mineral that helps bones maintain flexibility and prevents them from becoming brittle over time. There are two key points I want you to remember. First, whenever possible, choose unhulled sesame seeds, because that is where most of the calcium is found. Second, to properly absorb its nutrients, it is important to grind them or chew them very well. One practical and delicious way to do this is through tahini, the creamy sesame paste you can use on toast, in dressings, smoothies, or as a base for other preparations. There is also gomasio, a simple mix of ground sesame seeds with a bit of salt, ideal for sprinkling over meals. It is true that sesame contains compounds that can slightly reduce calcium absorption, but the total amount of calcium it provides is so high that the overall balance remains clearly positive. Just remember to introduce it gradually, especially if you have never consumed it before, as some people may be sensitive to it. Now, having information is not enough if we do not put it into practice. Taking care of your bones is the result of small daily habits that, when combined, have a powerful long-term impact. That is why I want to leave you with a simple and realistic plan. Start by transforming your pantry. Tahini can become a great ally. Use it at breakfast, in salads, or as a vegetable dip. Incorporate chia in the form of pudding, in oatmeal, or in smoothies. Add ground poppy seeds or sesame seeds to yogurt, soups, or warm dishes. You can even create your own blend by combining these seeds and using it daily in small amounts. The next step is to take care of your vitamin D. Without it, calcium cannot be properly utilized. Try to get regular sun exposure, just a few minutes a day on your arms and legs, always avoiding sunburn. In many cases, especially if you spend little time outdoors or during winter, supplementation may be necessary. In my practice, I have seen many patients with very low levels without realizing it, which is why I always recommend checking levels and supplementing under medical guidance if needed. Movement is another fundamental pillar. Bones become stronger when they are used. Walking, dancing, climbing stairs, or doing strength exercises with your own body weight sends a clear signal to your body that it needs to maintain strong bones. Activities like yoga or tai chi also help improve balance and reduce the risk of falls, which are one of the leading causes of fractures later in life. It is also important to remove what steals calcium. Reduce excess salt, moderate alcohol and soft drinks, avoid ultra-processed foods, and if you smoke, seek support to quit. All of this directly protects bone structure. I want to share something I see often in my practice. Some time ago, I treated a patient just over 60 who lived with constant fear of falling because she had already been warned about osteoporosis. She began introducing seeds like sesame and chia, improved her vitamin D levels, and started walking daily. Months later, she not only felt more confident, but her follow-up tests showed clear improvement. Small changes, done consistently, can transform confidence and quality of life. This plan is a powerful guide, but it does not replace medical evaluation. Osteoporosis is a serious condition, and if you have risk factors, it is essential to speak with your doctor to assess appropriate tests and create a comprehensive plan tailored to you. If this content is helping you, I sincerely invite you to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and join us every day with new videos designed for your well-being. Sharing this video with someone you care about can also make a real difference. And leave us a comment telling us which seed you are going to start using today. I truly enjoy reading you and knowing that you are not alone on this journey. Before we say goodbye, take a moment to thank God for life, for your body, and for the opportunity to learn how to care for it better every day. Gratitude is also part of good health. Remember that at Bienestar a Medad we are deeply committed to supporting you in improving your habits and your quality of life. Tomorrow we will have a new video created especially for you, and it will be a pleasure to meet again. You matter here, and together we continue building stronger health, step by step.